Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
So we're just out for a beautiful sunny day. You can probably see behind us the water, but we were prepared this time. It hasn't snuck up on us.
We're on a boat.
We're on a boat.
Pedal boat.
little pedal boat, And we're going to read Srimad Bhagavatam under the shelter of some nice trees. There were just some parrots here also, and surrounded by ducks. And
we're on Duck Island, it seems.
Yeah, Duck Island. Okay.
So it's Canto 3, Chapter 10, Text 12. The chapter is entitled Divisions of the Creation.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
This cosmic manifestation is separated from the Supreme Lord as material energy by means of color, which is the unmanifested impersonal feature of the Lord. It is situated as the objective manifestation of the Lord under the influence of the same material energy of Vishnu. Purport. As stated previously by Narada before Vyasadeva, Bhagavatam 1.5.20, Idam he Vishvam Bhagavan Ive Tara. This unmanifested world
is... manifested world?
No, unmanifested.
Oh, wow. Okay, there you go.
Is the self-same personality of Godhead, but it appears to be something else beyond or besides the Lord. It appears so because of its being separated from the Lord by means of color. It is something like the tape-recorded voice of a person who is now separated from the voice. As the tape recording is situated on the tape, so the whole cosmic manifestation is situated on the material energy and appears separate by means of color. The material manifestation is therefore the objective manifestation of the Supreme Lord and exhibits his impersonal feature, so much adored by impersonist philosophers.
Thoughts?
Well, a bit like this recording, I guess. It says here that something like the tape-recorded voice of a person is separate from the voice. So we've recorded this, but we are separate.
Okay, yeah. It's been a long weekend. Yeah, I guess the manifestation that you're all watching right now is not the same as being directly with us. Of course, when it comes to spiritual sound vibration and spiritual personalities, in the sense like Vishnu Tattva, a picture of the Lord is not different from the Lord. The name of the Lord is not different from the Lord. The leelas of the Lord, it's the parrots, are not different. But right now, as you're watching, you're not with us directly. I think that's the point you were trying to make, right?
Yeah, that was exactly the point I was making.
Yeah, I understood. I just wanted to try to communicate it. Okay. Text 13?
Yeah, it's a small verse.
It is. This cosmic manifestation is as it is now. This cosmic manifestation is as it is now. It was the same in the past, and it will continue in the same way in the future. Okay. So it is the way that it is now. It was the same in the past, it's going to be the same in the future, and that is the cosmic manifestation, this world that we live in. Purport. There is a systematic schedule for the perpetual manifestation, maintenance, and annihilation of the material world, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.8. Bhutagramam imam kritsnam avesham prakriter vashat. As it is created now, and as it will be destroyed later on, so also it existed in the past, and again will be created, maintained, and destroyed in due course of time. Therefore, the systematic activities of the time factor are perpetual and eternal and cannot be stated to be false. Interesting. The manifestation is temporary and occasional, but it is not false as claimed by the Mayavad philosophers. It's an interesting point that, it's all this is here. It was the same in the past, it's the same now, and it'll be the same in the future. So it's temporary, although all of that stuff seems to imply that it's, close to eternal, but in one sense it is, and that it's perpetual. I hope they're not laughing at me. It's perpetual, and but at the same time it's temporary. It's definitely a temporary experience for us. So like that. But it is real, in the sense that it is here. It is a manifestation from the Lord.
Yeah, that's the main key point. Text 14. There are 9 different kinds of creations besides the one which naturally occurs due to the interactions of the modes. There are 3 kinds of annihilations due to eternal time, the material elements, and the quality of one's work. The scheduled creations and the annihilations take place in terms of the Supreme Will. There are other creations due to interactions of material elements, which take place by the intelligence of Brahma. Later, these will be more explicitly explained. At present, only preliminary information is given. The 3 kinds of annihilations are: number 1, due to the scheduled time of the annihilation of the entire universe; number 2, due to a fire which emanates from the mouth of Ananta; and number 3, due to one's qualitative actions and reactions.
Due to one's qualitative actions and reaction. I guess that's an individual annihilation, right? So
yeah. Oh. We're gonna capsize.
No, we're not going to capsize, but maybe if I can do a little paddling. Any thoughts for you to lift it
Those
up?
are my thoughts. Are we gonna capsize? It's my thoughts.
Well, at some point we're all going to capsize from a material perspective.
Right, let me read.
Yes, please, you read.
Text 15. Of the 9 creations, the first one is the creation of the Mahatma, or the sum total of the material ingredients, wherein the modes interact due to the presence of the Supreme Lord. In the second, the false ego is generated, in which the material ingredients, material knowledge, and material activities arise. Come out of the darkness, dark island. The first emanation from the Supreme Lord from material creation is called the Mahatma. The interaction of the material modes is the cause of false identification, or the sense that the living being is made of material elements. This false ego is the cause of identifying the body and mind with the soul proper. Material resources and the capacity and knowledge to work are all generated in the second term of creation after the Mahatma. Gyan indicates the senses which are sources of knowledge and their controlling deities. Work entails the working organs and their controlling deities. All these are generated in the second creation.
Any thoughts?
Just like this point, the false ego is the cause of identifying the body and mind with the soul.
False ego is the cause of identifying the body and mind with the soul proper. It doesn't make sense, actually. This false ego is the cause of identifying the body. Oh, I see. Yes. Means it's the cause of,
It's the conclusion.
covering. Sorry,
It's the conclusion. It's like an equation. Material body plus identifying material body plus mind equals false ego.
Say that again?
It's like if you have 2 plus 2 equals 4, yeah?
Yeah.
So we do a sum. Identifying material body plus the mind equals the false ego. It is the cause of that equation.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I found confusing is because it says with the soul proper.
Because we think we are the material mind, and but this is me.
Yes,
we
yes.
only the soul. But I'm thinking, no, me being soul, me being this is the mind, intelligence, body, whatever. It's not.
Yeah.
You, the I is just the soul.
Yeah, so it's false ego. And then Gyan indicates the senses which are sources of knowledge and their controlling deities. Interesting. Yeah, I was a little distracted while you read that one. Let's read the next verse.
All right.
Text 16. The sense perceptions are created in the third creation. So let's go back here. Sorry. Of the 9 creations. So now it says there are 9. Before we just heard about, well, we heard of 3 destructions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot. Okay. First one is the creation of the Mahatattva. Second is the creation
the
of the
ducks
false.
are being tortured.
False ego.
Wow.
Okay, so the sense perceptions are created in the third creation, and from these the elements are generated. The fourth creation is the creation of knowledge and of working capacity. Okay. Text 17. The fifth creation is that of the controlling deities by the interaction of the mode of goodness, of which the mind is the sum total. The sixth creation is the ignorant darkness of the living entity by which the master acts as a fool. Interesting. Purport. Some right loud birds around here, mate. Purport. The demigods in the higher planets are called devas because they are all devotees of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu bhaktaha smrito daiva asuras tad viparyayaha. All the devotees of Lord Vishnu are devas, or demigods, whereas all others are asuras. That is the division of the devas and the asuras. Devas are situated in the mode of goodness of material nature, whereas the asuras are situated in the modes of passion or ignorance. The demigods, or controlling deities, are entrusted with departmental management of all the different functions of the material world. For example, one of our sense organs, the eye, is controlled by light. Light is distributed by the sun rays, and their controlling deity is the sun. Similarly, mind is controlled by the moon, mana. All other senses, both for working and for acquiring knowledge, are controlled by the different demigods. The demigods are assistants of the Lord in the management of material affairs. So this goes on to explain this doesn't go on to explain, but this explains that the role of the devatas, the role of the demigods, the controlling living entity, or the living entities who have control over things like the sun and the moon and the air and the wind and air, the same, and the seas, like that.
Next paragraph. After the creation of the demigods, all living entities are covered by the darkness of ignorance. Each and every living being in the material world is conditioned by his mentality of lording it over the resources of material nature. Although a living entity is the master of the material world, he is conditioned by ignorance, by the false impression of being the proprietor of material things.
So after the demigods are created, then basically ignorance comes in and covers basically everyone. Yeah. And we're conditioned by our mentality of trying to lord it over the resources of material nature. Apariyam etwastvanyam prakritim vidime panam jiva bhuta mahabaho yedam daryate jagat. 7.5 of the Bhagavad Gita explains that there are, above the material energies, or the material material energies, material elements, there is the soul who is exploiting the resources of the inferior material nature. So it's read the next paragraph. The energy of the Lord, called avidya, which is ignorance, is the bewildering factor of the conditioned souls. The material nature is called avidya, or ignorance, but to the devotees the Lord engaged in pure devotional service, but to the devotees of the Lord engaged in pure devotional service, this energy becomes vidya, or pure knowledge. Interesting. The energy of the Lord transforms from Mahamaya to Yoga Maya and appears to pure devotees in her real feature. The material nature therefore appears to function in three phases: as the creative principle of the material world, as ignorance, and as knowledge, as disclosed in the previous verse. In the 14th, in the fourth creation, the power of knowledge is also created. The conditioned souls are not originally fools. That's important. But by the influence of the avidya function of material nature, they are made fools. And thus, they are unable to utilize knowledge in the proper channel. Go on, go.
The final paragraph is so loud. It's like these ducks are like just...
They're not ducks. Those are the seagulls.
Seagulls. Oh. And then they come and attack us. By the influence... This is the last paragraph. Oh my days. By the influence of darkness, the conditioned soul forgets his relationship with the Supreme Lord and is overwhelmed by attachment, hatred, pride, ignorance, and false identification. The 5 kinds of illusion that cause material bondage.
So these are the 5 kinds of illusion that cause material bondage. What are they again?
Attachment.
Attachment. So anyone out there is attached to anything?
Anything other than Krishna.
Yeah,
you know.
Probably all of us.
Hatred.
Oh.
That's quite a strong word.
Hatred.
Hate something.
Anyone out there really hates something or someone? Okay.
Pride.
We're all proud of something, right? A pauper is proud of his penny.
Ignorance.
Well, what is it? There's an example that if you have a whole pie, like if you do a pie chart and you have a whole pie, one tiny, tiny sliver is what we don't know. No, sorry, one tiny sliver is what we know.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, and then the next tiny sliver, the same size next to it is what we don't know, or no, what we know we don't know. So what we.
All right.
I've lost it.
Yeah, because you don't know. That's the thing.
Exactly. So I'm showing the ignorance.
Yeah.
No, the point is the main and the rest of the pie is what we don't know. We don't know.
As long as we get.
So there's what we know,
pie.
and then there's what we know we don't know, and then the rest of the pie is what we don't know. We don't know. Think about it. Really think about it.
Right.
And then the last one is
false identification.
Yeah, we're all pretending. We're all pretending to be someone who we're not. I am not an American man. I am not the typical president, because I'm not anymore. Yes, I am not a paddle boat driver. Okay, so these are the 5 kinds of illusion that cause material bondage. Okay, how are we doing for time?
And then that is a wrap.
I think that's a wrap. Okay, so next
Thank
time
you.
we'll begin with text 18, and we look forward to seeing you all again in our adventures with Bhagavatam Bites.
Yes.
Read Bhagavatam, study Bhagavatam, hear Bhagavatam, absorb yourself in the pastimes of the Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna.